Palmer Ranch, or Lakewood Ranch? Which is better, and more importantly, where should you consider moving to? Well, let's find out. Hey everybody, my name is Zach Payne and I'm a local real estate agent here in the Sarasota area. I'm a born and raised Sarasota local and I'd love to help you find the best place for you to live here in Sarasota. That's why I make these kinds of videos, breaking down the most popular parts of town. So if you're considering moving here, schedule a call with me in the link in the description below. So the first topic I want to discuss today is lifestyle. Palmer Ranch and Lakewood Ranch have two very distinct lifestyles that they will attract. One of Lakewood Ranch's biggest critiques I hear from clients is that it's just too far away from the beaches. Now, if one of your main reasons to moving to Sarasota is to be able to spend quality time by the water, Lakewood Ranch isn't going to be the neighborhood for you. From Lakewood Ranch, you're going to be about 19 miles or around 40 minutes from Siesta Key, and depending on the traffic, that number can change and go north of 50 minutes. Palmer Ranch, however, is only about a 6-mile drive or 19 minutes to Siesta Key Beach. On the other hand, a lot of people value being close to shopping and dining, and could really care less if they were close to the beach. Well, in that case, Lakewood Ranch would be a better option than Palmer Ranch. You see, Palmer Ranch is more of a residential community with a few small shopping plazas on the outer edges. Lakewood Ranch, on the other hand, has convenient access to a ton of shopping. UTC Mall, which is about 4 miles from downtown Lakewood Ranch, where you can find everything from department store to luxury shopping. Lakewood Ranch has more of a town feel, while Palmer Ranch almost feels like one big neighborhood with a bunch of smaller neighborhoods inside of it. Lakewood Ranch is going to have more events and activities taking place within it as well. So if you're somebody who wants to live where all of the action is taking place, Lakewood Ranch is probably going to be the neighborhood for you. A lot of people who worry about struggling to find friends or have their kids make friends really enjoy Lakewood Ranch just because there's so many activities that almost force you to go out and mingle with your neighbors. Looking for a more quiet and tucked away residential feel? Well, then Palmer Ranch is going to be the area for you. All in all, Lakewood Ranch is going to be more of a busy town-like feel with lots of things to do in a very close proximity to where you may live. Palmer Ranch, on the other hand, is going to be on the slower end of things. It's going to be predominantly residential living with less traffic throughout. Starting with Lakewood Ranch, it's a big draw, and why so many people are moving there is the new construction and resort-style living that is provided in those communities. Between Waterside and Lakewood Ranch, there's tons of new communities popping up with amenities I've never even seen before. Things like Bahama bars, where you can swim up to the bar from the pool, order yourself a beverage, and then swim away. Lakewood Ranch communities have to have things like that to keep people intrigued on the idea of moving here. Moving to Florida for most means living more of an outdoor lifestyle than what they were living before. But how would that be possible if they were so far away from the beach? Well, insert extremely amenity-rich communities. If you're somebody who is looking for new construction options, Lakewood Ranch is just going to beat out Palmer Ranch every day of the week, just out of the sheer number of new construction communities and options that you'll have that are popping up in Lakewood Ranch. However, Palmer Ranch does have one new construction community still building out, and that neighborhood is Talon Preserve. It's located on the southern Palmer Ranch tip, and it's only about 4.7 miles to Nokomis Beach. Palmer Ranch does have newer neighborhoods though, but they are fully built out and only offer resale homes at this time, which, depending on your timeline, is arguably better than having to wait the 12 to 18 months it takes to build new. Palmer Ranch is only about a quarter of the size of Lakewood Ranch, and honestly, it doesn't have much more room for expansion. Again, in my opinion, this is great news. Palmer Ranch is about as busy as it's ever going to get. Lakewood Ranch grows bigger and bigger by the day, and more people are flocking there every single month. The issue of overcrowding and too many cars on the road has never ever been an issue in Palmer Ranch, and at this point, it really never will be. But you can expect the crowded feeling of Lakewood Ranch to grow every day, and you can mark my word on that. Depending on who you are, this might be a good thing or it might be a bad thing. Palmer Ranch, however, has a more established and mature feel. There's a stronger sense of community. If you're somebody who comes from a small town, then you really know that feeling that Palmer Ranch has. On the note of overcrowding though, all of these new construction communities in Lakewood Ranch are building what I like to call hallway homes. Now, what is a hallway home, you might ask? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. When you walk into the front door of these houses, there's really only one place to go, and that's to the back. All of these homes are so smushed together, you barely have any room to walk between your houses. Not only is this a real annoyance when it comes to privacy, it can also be a real issue when it comes to water drainage. A lot of these builders don't dig a deep enough swell in between the homes, which causes water to collect between the houses and not flow away from the foundation of the house properly. And let me just tell you right now, water has no reason being anywhere near the foundation of any home, let alone your home. Sometimes after a heavy rain, water isn't able to fully evaporate out of the grass, leaving it still soaked and squishy. And when the lawn guys come to mow, they totally tear up the grass and leave it an absolute muddy mess. It is not something you want to have to deal with. Oh, and another thing that's important to know about new construction, which predominantly pertains to Lakewood Ranch, is that when you're buying a new construction home, the taxes that you're going to be charged on for the first year, those property taxes, are only evaluated on the land alone. On the second year that you're paying your property taxes, that's when the assessed value of your home is included in the property taxes. So when you see that first year's property tax and you're like, wow, this is so cheap, this is gonna be amazing. Don't expect it to be like that every year. That's just on the land itself. Wait till the second year and that's what you can expect to see. And when you apply for homesteading, which means you live in it for a majority time of the year, you can be exempt from the property taxes being raised by more than 3% annually. So that can give you a really good idea of what you'll be paying after year 2 and from on. Just something to think about in new construction homes. Now, Palmer Ranch, on the other hand, has had a handful of amazing communities that were built when builders were still building on about 1/4 of an acre of land, which really allows for more outdoor privacy as well as a good spacing between neighbors for water to actually soak into the grass or evaporate out of the air. Some of my favorite neighborhoods are Turtle Rock, Prestantia, and the Hamptons inside of Palmer Ranch. When moving to a new area, you want to know it's going to be safe. Now, rest assured that both Palmer Ranch and Lakewood Ranch are extremely safe areas to live and raise a family. Almost all of Palmer Ranch is going to have gated neighborhoods, with the exception of 3. The same thing goes for Lakewood Ranch. Most of the communities in there are also going to be gated. I'm going to give Palmer Ranch the upper hand on safety only because it's just smaller and more of a quiet area compared to Lakewood Ranch. Really, the only people that are inside of Palmer Ranch or driving throughout of it are homeowners. That's it. Whereas at Lakewood Ranch, you've got businesses, you've got people coming to and from shopping, you've got golf courses, you've got residential communities, you've got it all. So it's just completely different lifestyles. For schooling, most of Palmer Ranch neighborhoods are going to fall in the #1 school district in all of Sarasota. That school district contains Ashton Elementary, Sarasota Middle School, and Riverview High School, with other neighborhoods districted for schools like Laurel Nokomis and Venice, as well as Venice High School, as well as Gulfgate Elementary. However, there is a new K-8 school being built just east of I-75 with an expected completion date for later this year. So we'll see how the new rezoning of school districts looks like, because it might look completely different by the time you're looking to buy your home. The neighborhood that you might be looking at in Palmer Ranch that's zoned for Riverview, Sarasota Middle, and Ashton Elementary might now be ranked for the new K-8 school that's going up east of I-75. So if you have any questions on that, get with me, schedule a call, give me a text, and I can give you some more information on that. Now, Lakewood Ranch also has some of the top-ranked schools like B.D. Gullett Elementary with a great school rating of 9 out of 10, Dr. Mona Jane Middle School with a great school rating of 7 out of 10, and Lakewood Ranch High School with a great school rating of 6 out of 10. Now, these school ratings are kind of hard to trust because everyone's opinion on what makes a good school are completely different for everyone, and I feel like everyone is very opinionated when it comes to things like schools. I've talked to so many people. I graduated Riverview High School in 2019, and I had an amazing experience there. The Kilty Band, the football teams, the schooling, the classes, the teachers, I had a great experience. But I have friends who absolutely hated it. What does that tell you? Anything? Probably not. For expenses, Lakewood Ranch is going to have an additional charge of the CDD fee charged into your annual property taxes, which is something that Palmer Ranch doesn't have. CDD stands for Community Developmental District, and that fee goes towards the maintenance of the area in which you live. It's charged annually and it's lumped in with the property taxes each year. The fee will be in addition to the HOA fees that most of these properties, also in Lakewood Ranch and both Palmer Ranch, will have. Palmer Ranch is located in southern Sarasota and it spans into North Venice with Talon Preserve. Lakewood Ranch starts with Waterside just east of I-75 and north of Fruitville Road and carries all the way north past State Road 70. I'm telling you, it's a huge area. Lakewood Ranch does have its own main street where events and live music and gatherings take place, while Palmer Ranch does not. Lakewood Ranch is also going to be about 13 miles from downtown Sarasota and 18 miles from Siesta Key Beach. while Palma Ranch is only going to be about 5 miles to Siesta Key Beach and right under 10 miles to downtown Sarasota. At the end of the day, it really comes down to your personal preference, what your priorities and your lifestyle are. The most important thing is to be informed and to be able to make the decision based on the information you have available to you. With that being said, if you have any questions or you want to learn more about these areas of Sarasota, you can reach out to me or schedule a call using the link in the description below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.